12 News, a hub of diversity. Brooklyn Park explores a new business venture to showcase its growing immigrant population. Then, winter roadblocks.
With a wheelchair, it makes mobility extremely difficult.
Think it's difficult getting around by foot? Imagine having to do so in a wheelchair. But first, post offices slammed, while you'll need to bubble wrap some patience. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Alexandra Renslow. With Christmas a little more than a week away, millions of people are heading to the post office to mail their cards, letters, and packages.
Today is the busiest mailing day of the year for the United States Postal Service, but as Delane Cleveland reports, today's enormous volume is still a far cry from where they were just a decade ago.
Christmas falls on the same date every year. But regardless of the day on which it falls,
sending a couple of packages off to grandkids and my son for Christmas.
It's the Monday before the holiday.
Sausage to friends out in the West Coast, and my husband has got some crafty things, so getting in the Christmas spirit here.
When people pack the post office.
They get their errands done on weekends, and then Mondays in particular become really busy days for us.
On a normal day, Postal Service employees nationwide say they process about 500 million pieces of mail. But today, they expect to surpass 600 million.
Cards, packages, you name it, especially packages this year.
As for locally,
we're going to cancel about 4.3 million pieces of mail today by our estimates. We'll also send out about 250,000 packages.
The uptick in packages is the result of more people shopping online and the ease with which people can mail things with flat rate priority mail.
It's a really popular product, extremely simple. We provide the packaging. It's an easy way for folks to do stuff, and so we've seen an upturn in packages that way.
However, the overall volume has dwindled in recent years.
Our Christmas cards, our holiday cards, that's fallen by about half over the last 10 years, and it's no secret that people are doing more and more things online.
Yet while times have changed, the one constant for the Postal Service is that this is both the busiest day and busiest week of the year.
I did not realize that, or I would have come some other day.
In Minneapolis, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
And if you couldn't make it to the post office today, don't worry, there is still time. The deadline for holiday cards is Friday the 20th. Priority mail packages should be sent out by Saturday the 21st, and you can send out Priority Express items as late as Monday the 23rd. While delivery drivers are dashing through the snow, some of our neighbors are having a much harder time getting around.
As Renee Bonneau reports, covered sidewalks pose a hazard for those with disabilities.
It's hard for anyone to get through ice and snow on sidewalks. Imagine doing it in a wheelchair or with a walker.
These guys love to take walks around the neighborhood.
Tyler Bishop is a support manager at this Brooklyn Center group home. He says winters can be downright dangerous for the 4 residents who live here.
With a wheelchair, it makes mobility extremely difficult, let alone if you have an electronic wheelchair. Sometimes it will slide, such as a car will. This is not going to be adequate for preventing a fall. If anything, it's going to go out, and the person using it is going to go down, and it completely defeats the purpose of what it's meant to do.
He's asking property owners and cities to be aggressive about clearing walkways.
I feel it's a matter of just people doing their part.
This is as tough as it could get as far as the storm goes.
In Brooklyn Park, the street maintenance superintendent says sidewalk plows are out anytime the city gets a half-inch of snow or more.
We do have the 90 miles that we do typically along the busier streets like a Brookdale Drive or a Zane Avenue or by schools. Otherwise, it is the property owner's responsibility to clear from snow and ice.
He says the city has gotten plenty of calls in the last few weeks asking crews to plow specific sidewalks. He says they go out as soon as possible and take extra care if they know someone with a disability uses them.
We'll make extra passes there as necessary and sometimes bring additional equipment over there, if possible, to scrape that up so people can get around.
Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
Brooklyn Park says if you know of a sidewalk that needs to be cleaned, call street maintenance. If crews are out, the city can be there in a few hours. If not, it'll be addressed the next day.
A memorial service will take place Wednesday for the man who accidentally drowned in a Golden Valley pool. 88-year-old Kenneth Christofferson died last Thursday after he was pulled from the pool at Courage Kenny Rehabilitation Institute. Officials say Christofferson was a longtime swimmer there, and they say he apparently experienced a medical issue while in the pool with others. Staff immediately began CPR before he was taken to the hospital. Christofferson is survived by his wife of 65 years. His obituary says Christofferson is a member of the Minnesota Softball Hall of Fame.
2 schools from the Northwest Metro are among 48 statewide recognized for gains in student achievement. Today, the Minnesota Department of Education designated Park Brook Elementary and Garden City Elementary as so-called celebration schools. The honor is given to schools who reduce achievement gaps and improve test scores. Garden City credits personal learning time scheduled during the school day, while Park Brook says a more rigorous curriculum has benefited students.
What's in a name? Brooklyn Park residents are about to find out. The city is in the process of establishing a neighborhoods task force, which would lead efforts to identify neighborhoods' names and boundaries across the city. Residents can offer ideas at 3 community cafes being held this winter. The neighborhood naming project is seen as a way to build civic pride and improve livability.
Brooklyn Park's police dog Diesel really is top dog. The canine has a prestigious award to prove it. This is video of Officer Jason Buck and Diesel from several years ago. The duo recently received an award from the United States Police Canine Association. They received the honor for tracking down 2 suspects who were involved in multiple burglaries in the metro. Coming up, how Brooklyn Park's growing diversity could lead to a new business opportunity.
We'll explore that next in Business Matters. And then later in sports, goals are at a premium as Wayzata battles Hopkins in girls hockey.
But first, slight relief from the cold. Wednesday could reach above freezing. We'll be right back. Good news for holiday travelers. Gas prices continue to trend downward. Twin Cities prices are averaging about $2.90 per gallon right now, according to TwinCitiesGasPrices.com. We found stores in Crystal, New Hope, and Brooklyn Park all selling gas near $2.82. Prices in the Twin Cities are at a 3-year low. The reason for the drop is increased inventory thanks to more domestic oil production.
Several new restaurants plan to open soon in the Northwest Metro. Patrick's Bakery and Cafe plans to open next month in the Shops at Arbor Lakes in Maple Grove. It will fill space once occupied by a California pizza kitchen. Also opening soon in Maple Grove, Rusty Taco. The Mexican restaurant will occupy space once filled by Wedgwood wines and spirits. Brooklyn Park is exploring the idea of creating a small business hub to encourage new entrepreneurs.
It's a discussion that was started by residents on social media. In this week's Business Matters, we take a look at the idea and find out how it could represent the city's diverse population. Step inside the Midtown Global Market in Minneapolis, and the arts, crafts, and foods of the world are within reach. The internationally themed public market is a hub for more than 50 small business vendors.
There's always a need to have a culturally diverse, different kind of market for different people.
In Brooklyn Park, where more than 20% of the population is foreign-born, small business owner Hassan Mohammed would like to see an internationally themed small business hub created in the city, possibly an open space near Zane and Brooklyn Boulevard.
This will be a robust idea to bring people here. You bring business, business comes here, because now the population is going to center on this area.
Smaller in scale than the Midtown Global Market, the feasibility of a small business hub in Brooklyn Park is being researched by the city.
We have a lot of residents in Brooklyn Park that want the opportunity to start their own business.
City officials say the business hub could include small, low-rent spaces to foster the creation of new retail and arts and crafts vendors. It likely would have an international theme and business support services.
The concept would be that the rent would be lower and there would be like businesses that they could use as resources.
Brooklyn Park project coordinator Alicia Strobridge says the idea would likely involve a partnership between nonprofit organizations and the city to sustain it financially.
If people are employed, obviously crime will go down. there's so many robust ideas that can come as a benefit of having a business hub here in Brooklyn Park.
When the diversity of the community is represented in small business, Hassanin Mohammed believes it will also help build vitality in Brooklyn Park.
It's something that is needed over here.
Research on the idea is expected to last into the spring. It would be up to Brooklyn Park's Economic Development Authority to approve the project. Well, could there be a future Olympic skater in the bunch?
We'll take you to a competition, a show where contestants are dreaming big. But first, Champlin Park and Osseo tangle in a key Northwest Suburban Conference basketball game. John Jacobson has the highlights. John Jacobson with sports now. A couple of pretty good hockey teams. Not much scoring, though. They must be good on defense, right?
Very good defensive battle between these two teams. Oh, a terrific hockey game in Plymouth. Lake Conference girls hockey teams occupy the top 4 spots in the Class AA rankings in Minnesota. The last 2 games of Saturday's Lake Conference Showcase matched those top 4 squads. The final game featuring 3rd-ranked Wayzata against number 2 Hopkins. Well, Wayzata controls the first period, but they can't beat Royals goalie Aaron O'Neill, who stops 9 shots. With the help of 2 power plays, Hopkins gets the better of the play in the second period, but Nina Rogers' chance is off the pipe and it stays 0-0. Sarah Stelter is great in net for Wayzata, stops the tip, and then robs Shorty Sharon with a diving save, and it stays 0-0 through 2 periods. With about 5 minutes to play, Wayzata strikes off the face-off as Caitlin Klein beats O'Neill. And we'll take another look at it as the puck loose in the circle and Klein capitalizes. Wayzata wins at 1-0. Doesn't get any easier for Wayzata. They take on number 1 Minnetonka on Tuesday. In boys basketball, Osseo and Champlin Park tipped off in a big early season matchup in boys hoops. Highlights from this one at Champlin Park. It's Ian Tyson that'll get the rebound here off the Wheeler-Baker miss, and he puts it back in as Osseo grabs an early 4-point lead. And then the lob inside to Tyson for 2 more, and Osseo up on the Rebels early in this first half. But Champlin Park comes back. They get their running game going, get 2 points off the transition basket there. And then another hoop on the drive to the basket. And Champlin Park leading this one at halftime. They go up by 9 points. Second half, Brennan Witt driving baseline. That's reverse layup for him. Champlin Park still in the lead, but Tim Tyson's Osseo squad comes back. It's Tyson with 2 more points. He scores 30 points in the game for the Orioles. But late in this one with a tie game, the Rebels make the biggest play of the night. JT Gibson getting the loose ball ahead to Marty Hill, who misses, but Jeremy Johnson follows the offensive rebound and put back for 2. That's the winning basket. Champlin Park pulls out a tight one over Osseo, 68-65. 5 local teams played in the Breakdown Tip-Off Classic Boys Basketball Showcase Saturday. Teams from the area went 4 for 5 in the event. Champlin Park scored another impressive win with an 81-65 victory over Eden Prairie. Marty Hill had 20 points to lead 4 Rebels in double figures. And here's a rarity, 2 straight losses for Osseo. The Orioles fall 63-55 to defending Class 3A champion De La Salle. Both Robbinsdale schools scored victories at the Breakdown. Armstrong downs Roseville 83-71. Ryan Casperson had 21 points for the Falcons. Cooper beaten Lester Prairie Holy Trinity 74-66. Marquise Gray had 19 points for the Hawks. And Hopkins outlasts Lakeville North 89-84. Stephen Sharp had 25 to help overcome J.P. McCure's 48-point game for Lakeville. In girls basketball, Armstrong used to dominate its rivalry with Robbinsdale district neighbor Cooper. The Hawks, though, have closed the gap, and they beat Armstrong last winter by 15 points. Drew Woods, the new coach for the Cooper girls. His team starts quickly, jumping out to a 9-0 lead thanks to back-to-back 3-pointers by Lori Bowler. Hannah Sasek drives and kicks out to Rachel Russ for a Falcons 3-pointer. And late in the first half, Armstrong goes on a 12-2 run. Lyric Williams' shot is short. She fights for the rebound and puts it back in for the Falcons. Williams, nice pass to Sasek. She'll drive and score, and it's 37-27 Falcons at halftime. The Hawks rally in the second half. Yu Longs takes it coast to coast and scores on a nice drive to the hoop. Manita Kelly gets hot for Cooper. The long 2 cuts the Falcons' lead to just 3 points. And the Hawks take a 46-45 lead on the drive and basket here by Lauren Johnson. But Williams takes over for Armstrong down the stretch. The rebound, putback, and the foul. She leads all scorers with 27 points, and Armstrong wins 68-60. Those rivalry games always a lot of fun to watch.
Love the fast-paced basketball highlights. Thanks, John. Still ahead, a showcase of grace and skill.
We'll take you for a twirl at the Three Rivers Skating Club exhibition when we come right back.
Santa must be making an early delivery. As we were checking out holiday lights, we found a sleigh full of toys on a front lawn in Maple Grove. You'll find it in the 17,700 block of 82nd Way North. Our photographers are always looking for those great holiday light displays. If there's one in your yard or at your neighbor's, pick up the phone or send us an email here at Channel 12, and we'll get a photographer over there. Figure skaters got a chance to show their stuff in an event in Brooklyn Park over the weekend.
Well, ask any of them about how to get to the next level, and they'll tell you it takes practice and a lot of it. From veteran skaters like 17-year-old Aurora Wiseman to younger skaters still working on basic moves but getting 10s for cuteness, the Three Rivers Figure Skating Holiday Showcase was a chance to show what they can do.
You'll see some amazing kids really skating their heart out.
Many of these kids have already spent years working on figure skating techniques, some with an eye toward competitive skating. It's a year-round sport for 14-year-old Natalie Nelson, who has been skating since she was just 3.
I want to skate for as long as I can, and I like competing and like pushing myself to my limits and working as hard as I can. So as long as I work as hard as I can, I think I can go anywhere I want.
And with the Winter Olympics just around the corner, you might be able to predict what would be the ideal future competition for these skaters.
To go to the Olympics. To go to the Olympics. To go to the Olympics. Be a better skater.
The Three Rivers Figure Skating Club formed 18 years ago with 30 skaters. Now they have 150 from as far away as South Dakota.
It's just a way to express myself and be happy while getting exercise and being physically fit.
With 9 years of ice and competitive experience under her belt, Aurora Wiseman's goal is to be in the top 3 in state competition. But she also finds rewards in teaching what she knows to younger kids.
It's really nice to see where I was so many years ago, and now I get to teach them. It's really rewarding. I love to inspire other people and just kind of show my artistry as well as jumps.
You know, you hear everybody say it, but they make it look easy.
I know.
But easy after 9 or 10 years of work.
I was going to say, you have to know there's a lot of time on the ice to get to that point.
That'll do it. That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
We'll see you here tomorrow. Community Corner is coming up next.